number of animals and based on the historical evaluation with Lincoln Park?
Well, they had, in 2015, they had 657 animals that were down at the Downriver Community one. As of January to July of this year, that's the last numbers we had from them, they were at about 390, so they're down a little bit. We had some animals come in about 10 days ago, and we've had 13 come in since then. Out of the 13, 2 were returned to owners. One's been adopted, the other ones are just really kind of just waiting to get adopted. Their whole period's not up yet.
Will they crunch your space at the shelter now?
We have 18 slots roughly available. You can go up to 28. So between them, there's 7. Right now there's 17 in there. But we can expand as needed.
And Madam Chair, that was the first part of the evaluation, is making sure that it doesn't put too much stress on our department. And you know, we are, with the weekend adoptions, they are fairly successful emptying out the shelter, or at least adopting out a large number of the animals. Based on the evaluation, they felt comfortable that with what was coming in and the additional revenue that it brings to the act, that the opportunity makes sense. So when we looked at the MOU, we actually have a little bit of a built-in based on the loaded rate per animal and what it would cost us versus what we're charging them. Mm-hmm. So I think that we have, we, the city of Taylor, are protected. The MOU does provide I believe, a 90-day termination at any point in time, and that just would allow them 3 months to find another partnership in the event that we don't want to stay in that role.
How will that work now? Do they still have animal shelter officers that will bring the animals here? Okay, and then the residents of Lincoln Park can also bring animals here?
Correct.
And they will not be charged?
No, they will be charged though. That will be, if they surrender an animal, they will be charged.
And that fee's different than a Taylor resident
Correct.
fee?
Oh,
Correct.
okay.
We're not giving them a resident rate. This is just if these animals are brought in via the ACO, and that's the $100 rate.
Do we still do that for Riverview?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, another question?
Have we established that pricing for a Lincoln Park resident?
I believe they just charge the non-resident rate, so there's a resident rate and then everything else.
Nothing special for them because of this other agreement?
Not as part of this.
Isn't there one city that we charge resident rates to?
I'm not sure, is Riverview charge resident rate? So that may be. What I anticipate is that based on this agreement, we'll likely look at the Riverview agreement. Now the Riverview is a little different because there's a reciprocation with the landfill. So that's a little bit of a different arrangement, whereas there is no reciprocation with Lincoln Park. We're just really doing them a favor, trying to help create an opportunity for them to take their animals to a location that's secure. So we just looked at covering our cost and making sure that we weren't putting the city of Taylor Animal Shelter in a vulnerable situation. And Madam Chair, we have done this for a couple weeks now, just on a pilot program while we're waiting for all the MOU to be approved. And I mean, like anything, I suspect there's been probably some hiccups, but Matt, has there been anything that you guys have experienced?
No, the officers, they have come in, filled the cards. It's no different than when the review person comes in.
So they've had 13 dogs and how many cats? Any?
2.
2.
And the biggest concern we had at the beginning was the number of dogs and what kind of dogs are we coming in. Out of the ones that came in, only like 3 are pit bulls, the rest are everything else.
Yeah,
Chihuahua, rat terriers, everything.
we were a little bit concerned, Madam Chair. Some of the initial reports coming in out of the downriver group was that all their animals were pit bulls. Well, number one, we have a pretty good rate of adopting pit bulls out. And number 2, that appears to be a little bit misleading.
That's all we allow in Lincoln Park is pit
Okay, item number 8, this one's been kicked around for quite a while. Did you get a final opinion from Dave Greco?
I did, Madam Chair, to council, which I have in my email inbox from yesterday. Dave Greco did recommend removing the ordinance violation. His comment was, current owner was not the owner of record, and there was due diligence was done, but not aggressively. And he said it was a prior owner, so he would recommend that removing not billing the current owner for those charges. Now, let's go back to a thought council has had numerous times in the past. We know that the prior owner, I believe, was Fannie Mae, or had one of the two. Do we then bill them for those costs? I don't have the answer. My recommendation was if we can, we should. So we'd be doing a one-off, and we don't have any consistency of doing that yet. But to your first question, Madam Chair, the prosecutor did recommend removal for this current owner of ordinance violation.
What does he define as some due diligence that was done? I mean, what did they do? They didn't run a title search. They didn't call the city. What was done that would make us want to give them the money?
They had it's our chronic councilman to the chair. They had that the last known duplicate tax bill was what they were anticipating as the only thing that was due. And that's my, well, I mean, which I think in the very beginning, to our knowledge, they didn't do an aggressive title search. I'm not sure if they hired that title company at all.
So he's recommending that we go after Fannie Mae as opposed to the homeowner that, yeah.
No, actually, all Dave is recommending is that we remove the charges from the current.
Right.
That's saying what to do about it.
Yeah.
I will forward you his email.
Okay. Number 9, this is to approve Reynolds and Sons for the purchase of wall padding in the amount of $57.86 plus the normal 10% contingency. This would be paid through CDBG, and this is for wall padding at the rec
Recreation Center gymnasium. Last year you guys approved the baselines, which is all you really need for basketball usage, but for baseball we need to do the sidelines as well. So this is the same company. They were not the low bid. They lost by $130, but being that that's what we used last year, we can guarantee the same product, color, setup.
Right.
So that's kind of why we brought forward them as the preferred bid.
Okay. Any questions for Jeff on this? Okay, number 10, this is for emergency purchase of a fire truck from fire engine from Halt Fire for an amount not to exceed $350,000. Is this to replace our banged up one? It's just an additional one that we're just going to hurry up and get?
I'm saying no and yes all at the same time because the bid came, or the quote came in today for the banged up one, and I suspect we'll be looking for another one soon, but the insurance company has to determine that, I suspect. In light of what may or may not happen with that truck and the age of the other vehicles, we thought it was a good idea to try to secure another one. This was a demo, very similar, Chief, to the one we currently have. I believe all of you, including myself, were sent another company's, they had a demo as well, so we actually did a price comparison.
Yeah,
Chief,
this is
what were
about
those?
$120,000 cheaper than that bid, and then also this is about $20,000 cheaper than the one we just got. That was in the accident. It was a pretty good price. Just having a reliable bumper. I mean, that's really the only reason. The other ones, 16, 17, and 23 years old, all of that had bumping issues. So I thought it was important to just do this emergency purchase for this truck.
And Jared, the other truck that was hit in the accident, the bid came in today, the insurance company will have to determine if it's worth rebuilding or scrapping out entirely. Sheila, will that take, how long do you think they typically take on that?
I mean, I think we'll get an update within the next 48 hours on this.
Yeah, so it doesn't look very positive though. The quote was much higher than expected. So we may be in the situation of buying yet another one. Now this company does have another demo available, but it has the, Chief, help me, the foam sprayer on it, so it's a little bit more.
That one was already picked up by someone else.
Also somebody else
Yeah, we were
bought that.
7 minutes basically in order to get basically the trucks. These things go fast as far as, you know, these demos, it's just first come, first served, so.
This brings up the question, how are we going with the health and human resources building sale?
That's still proceeding, but the funds for this, we anticipate, there's a little bit more than this in an account that we're going to solicit TCDC to cover for the fire engine. So we have an account that will cover this. We just have to wait till the next meeting to actually take it to TCDC for their approval. Jason's the chairman. We've talked to a few of the board members just to make sure they were okay with it. Based on the circumstances, we don't anticipate a problem. So this likely won't hit general fund in any capacity. So we'll have this truck, and then we'll need to make a decision soon on the other truck.
Any other questions, Dave?
The insurance will cover the other truck, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, typically, for emergency vehicles, we're usually covered at least, for the purchase price, so we don't lose any money on